We are the champions, and you are here listening to Benzy's Bit, episode number 10. Welcome in, all you crazy kooks. It's another week. It's another great week. It's another week closer to a boatload of sports. Very excited for that. I'm very excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for joining me. Once again, I am Matt Benz. My Twitter handle is @TwistBenz. I am associated with the Twist Sports Talk umbrella. What is Twist Sports Talk, you may ask? Well, first and foremost, go and check it out. www.twistsportstalk.com. Not org, not gov, not US, com. Believe it. Twist is the week in sports talk. We are live mostly every Saturday. Lately, it's been crazy with bachelor parties, an upcoming wedding, things like that. But we are live on RTF Facebook page as well as our own Facebook page every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time. So we got a lot to get into this week. I am going to dig into some sports, and that's going to be starting out with Benzy's breakdown, which is going to be all about dingers. We're talking baseball this week, and I'm going to dig into the MLB division winners and who I think that will be. So we will start off with the AL East. I have picked the Tampa Bay Rays, not the Red Sox, not the Yankees, the Tampa Bay Rays. And people are going to be like, Benzy, how could you think that? Everybody's got Yankees, Dodgers in the World Series. I don't, because money should not be able to. I don't want to believe that money can buy you championships. I don't want to believe that. You know, you got the Nationals are the defending World Series champs, even though it feels like it's been about 5 years since I've seen a baseball game. Yes, the Nationals were the defending champs, and they didn't have Bryce Harper. Keep that in mind. They didn't have to. Obviously, they have that rotation. We'll get into that. So AL East, Tampa Bay Rays are my decision. The main thing is that pitching rotation that they have. They added their opening day starter, which is Charlie Morton, and then they also have Blake Snell, who you might recognize that name being in the news in the past months, basically saying he wasn't going to come play unless he was getting his full amount of money. Well, he's going to be playing. They also have Tyler Glasnow, Yanni Chirinos, and Ryan Yarbrough. That will serve as the club's anchor throughout the season. Pitching and run prevention are the only way the Rays win the division. Easy as that. Also, I want you guys to remember the name Yoshi. Yeah, we're not talking about Mario Brothers. We're not talking about Mario Kart. We're talking about baseball with the Tampa Bay Rays and an outfielder with the first name Yoshi. I'm not going to tell you his last name because I can't pronounce it, for one. This dude is going to be a monster. He's a phenom outfielder for the Rays and will look to emerge as a household name, as well as a guy by the name of Hunter Renfroe. And we're not talking football here, boys. We're not talking about Las Vegas Raiders wide receivers. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Rays and how I have them winning the AL East. Good enough. On to the AL West, I have the Los Angeles Angels. I believe that's the city that they're claiming now. It's not the Anaheim. It's not the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I believe it's just the LA Angels. I have them winning the AL West. I love this team. I love Mike Trout. I love Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani. Let's go with that. And I love the addition of Anthony Rendon. All right. So you've got some additions there. You've got Ohtani, who not only pitches at a high level, but he's a beast as a hitter. So you've got a guy playing the two sides of the ball like that. I love them. Now, those looking to pin their hopes on something positive about the Angels in 2020 and beyond should think about this. The organization will be able to build around a nucleus of Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon, and Shohei Ohtani. 3 generational talents either in the middle of or just entering their primes. And they get to keep them over the next at least 4 years. It's nuts. But that's what they do. Big markets, big build, big teams with big stars. So I have them taking the AL West this year. I definitely think that as long as they show a healthy Ohtani, and the other big thing is, why do you not pick, the Houston Astros? Well, they lost Garrett Cole, and I know they've got star-studded, but hopefully they won't be banging on trash cans, so that's why I did not pick the Astros. So I went with the Angels in the West. In the Central, I'm going with the Bomba Squad. AL Central, you're going with the Minnesota Twins. Let's get into some stats, shall we? Last season, they broke the single-season MLB home run record at 307 dingers. They won 101 games last year, setting also, like I said, the home run record, and then adding a former MVP on the biggest free agent deal in the team's history in Josh Donaldson. Simply isn't something that they've ever seen possible for the Twins before the arrival of Falvey and Levine, who are their upper-level GMs. So just to think about that, also thinking about this season, the Twins have the easiest 60-game schedule. No games versus the reigning champs Nationals or any other teams like the Astros, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Braves, the A's, or the Rays. Those teams all had 95-plus win seasons last season, and we don't have to play them at all. So the Twins have the easiest 60-game schedule, therefore I am going to choose them for the AL Central. Jumping into the NL East, I have the Atlanta Braves. I'm surprised they still have the team name of the Braves. Cheers to them. The Atlanta Braves. Why not the Nationals, and why the Atlanta Braves? Well, that's really a coin flip, whoever you really want to root for. I will take the younger, higher upside team of the Atlanta Braves. If you had any doubts about the incredible talent of Ronald Acuna Jr. before last season, you were silenced. Between Acuna, Ozzie Albies, and the Braves possess one of the best talent cores in the league. Toss in the emergence of Mike Soroka and the signing of Marcell Ozuna, the Atlanta team has offensive depth. And that's not even to mention Freddie Freeman, who's a COVID survivor. Almost lost his life. Now, they did lose Josh Donaldson to my Minnesota Twins, but they still have much of the core that led them to 97 wins last season, not to mention a young core. That's what it's about, upside, youth, upside, emergence of talent in the MLB, and that screams Atlanta Braves. NL East, Atlanta Braves. NL West, I go with my border team, which is the Milwaukee Brewers. They added a dynamic hitter in Garcia to an already star-studded batting lineup featuring Ryan Braun, Christian Yelich, Lorenzo Cain, and Justin Smoak. That's a pitching nightmare right there. You think about that. You think about not just the bombs that they can hit off of pitchers, but just if one guy's having in a slump, you have that lineup. That's baseball nowadays. The depth wins championships, and that's definitely the thing. The one thing the Brewers don't have is, at least at this moment, because it's a lot of not so prominent guys in the pitching rotation, they don't have that depth in the pitching rotation. But if they get some guys to emerge, they hand the ball over to Josh Hader to close out games, who is a monster. Now, you might say that he is the best closer in the league right now. He's the most dangerous. He comes into games and guys are shitting their pants. So I have the Brewers taking the NL West. In the NL Central, everybody's like, oh, so this is a wrap. He's taking the Dodgers. I'm not. I, once again, will not take the Dodgers. That might make me sound like an idiot, but boo-hoo. I'm taking the Arizona Diamondbacks. Curveball. Yeah. Speaking of curveballs, they got the starting rotation featuring the Mad Bum, Bumgardner, Robbie Ray, Luke Weaver, and just that three-headed monster in of itself should get the Diamondbacks confidence going into any game, along with Archie Bradley to close out games. Okay, so there's the nucleus of pitching. But the big reason why I'm going to pick them is just because they have such a good defensive team that if those guys take notes and follow some instructions from some of the veterans on the team and they start hitting the ball, I mean, they can get hot quick and carry that momentum through. This is a 60-game season, and if you got guys that start on the ball, it's going to work. I mean, that goes for any team. But I love Eduardo Escobar, former Twin. He's a big dude. I like that. They've also got Nick Hamed and Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte is a stud. So that's why I'm going with the Arizona Diamondbacks for the division. So once again, just a quick recap. I did take in the AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays. AL West, I took the LA Angels. AL Central, Minnesota Twins. NL East, Atlanta Braves. NL West, Milwaukee Brewers. NL Central, the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's the breakdown for the week. I think that went very well. I know there's some heavy hitters in the sleeper categories, which is what I kind of pride myself on because I don't want to be that guy that takes the chalk. Easy enough. So we're going to go on to Benzy's Baller of the Week and on to the Bonehead of the Week. But the Baller of the Week, I love this week because it's my guy, Kevin Garnett. Now, for those of you that have lived under a rock, KG played 21 seasons in the NBA. Known for his intensity, defensive ability, and versatility, Garnett is considered one of the greatest powered forwards of all time. I agree. And not only that, you guys have heard, hopefully in the news lately, that the Timberwolves are on the sale block, we'll say. And KG has emerged as a guy that's trying to put together a team or a group of people to purchase the team. Now, whenever you hear about celebrities or former athletes trying to buy a team, that means they're balling. All right? So let's just put our headspace around how much of a baller KG is currently still. Okay, so as per Celebrity Net Worth, Garnett's net worth is at $120 million. That's just his net worth, right? He earned $334.3 million in salary and is currently the highest paid NBA player of all time. Wrap your head around that. He's still currently the highest paid NBA player of all time. During his final season with the NBA, Garnett earned a total of $10 million with endorsements alone. And now he's looking to purchase a franchise, which I would be so pumped up about. KG, as an owner of the Timberwolves, please be true. All right, so that's the Baller of the Week. What a baller he is. Now on to the Bonehead of the Week. Oh, I love this. Antonio Brown. Now, I usually don't talk about Antonio Brown in anything, whether it be Twist, whether it be Benzy's Bit. I just prefer not to because I despise him. Now, the talent's always been there, but I just despise this dude. He's a clown. So, Antonio Clown. No, you have not been transported back in time to one of Brown's numerous retirements over the past year. The former Pittsburgh Steeler and short-time New England Patriot wide receiver tweeted his latest retirement statement on Monday afternoon, seemingly out of the blue. He said in his tweet, "It is time to walk away. I done everything in the game." Question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. Then he went on to say, "At this point, the risk is greater than the reward. Thank you, everyone who've been a part of this journey. I sincerely thank you for everything. Life goes on, 84. Brown can retire all he wants, but it doesn't really count if he's not playing football, which he hasn't since mid-September. He's still being investigated by the NFL over two separate sexual assault accusations, and teams have stayed far away from him. There have been rumors here and there about the Bucks, who employ Tom Brady, who's a Brown supporter, or so people think he is, and the Seattle Seahawks as well, but nothing has materialized. And for him to say at this point the risk is greater than the reward, the risk of you attempting to get on a squad and not getting on the squad, the risk of you putting in all this work and not being picked up by anybody because you're a head case. And I firmly believe that people with mental illness can get help and can change their lives around. because I am a person with mental illness. I understand that. But for you to continue this circus, you're the bonehead of the week, bud, and you deserve it. So congratulations, AB. You actually got on one of my shows, and we actually talked about it. There you go. On to Benzy's Buzz. Benzy's Buzz is all about the topics that are in the news currently. So the Wilf family, who owns the Vikings, emerges as a top candidate to buy the Timberwolves. This is per Adam Schefter. The Wilf family that owns the Minnesota Vikings has emerged as a serious candidate to buy the Minnesota Timberwolves. Only recently did the Wilfs emerge as one of the groups bidding to buy the NBA team in their city from billionaire Glenn Taylor. Sources said there are several bidders for the team, including metropolitan New York real estate developer Mayor Orbach, who bought a minority stake in the Timberwolves in 2016. But don't forget about former Timberwolves standout Kevin Garnett, also said he is forming a group to try to purchase the team. Man, all I know is that Glenn Taylor's supposedly asking for about $1.2 billion. Yeah, that's a B, like Benzy or bit. Billion. And $1.2 billion will take the team that's supposedly appraised at about $1.4, $1.5 billion. A couple 13. How about that? Not true, but we'll go with it. So that's very interesting. I'm loving the sale of the Timberwolves. Glenn Taylor has been a guy that has been very controversial in the history of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And for him to finally be passing the baton, which he should have done a long time ago because he's a businessman. And businessmen can do the job that he did, but you have to let go of the reins. You can't have a face-to-face conversation with a guy like Andrew Wiggins and ask him, do you think you're worth a max contract in the NBA? And for him to say, yeah, I feel like I am, and take him on his word. You don't do that. You don't do things like that. That's not what an owner does. So good for them. Hopefully KG gets it. I think that I'm speaking for all Minnesota fans on that. Next up, NFL planning to allow social justice decals on helmets. The NFL is planning to allow players to have decals on the back of their helmets bearing names or initials of victims of systematic racism and police violence. The league has been in talks with players and their union since June on somehow honoring such victims. The NFL also is planning to have Lift Every Voice and Sing, traditionally known as the Black National Anthem, performed live or played before every Week 1 game. Russell Westbrook clears protocol set to practice with the Rockets. Westbrook announced last week that he had tested positive for COVID-19 before the Rockets' departure for Orlando, Florida, writing on his social media July 13 that he was feeling well and quarantined. He traveled to Orlando on Monday to rejoin the team. Westbrook had to test negative for the coronavirus twice before being cleared to travel to the NBA's campus. According to the league's guidelines, he was required to quarantine in his hotel room for 2 days before being allowed to join the Rockets for practice and other team activities. Another survivor. There we go. First Freddie Freeman, then Matthew Benz, then Russ Westbrook. Cheers to us. Bucks Giannis Antetokounmpo says he had access to a hoop, contradicting earlier remarks. While under quarantine with his family at home, the Bucks swingman and reigning MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo said he didn't have access to a hoop. But apparently that wasn't the case. Giannis admitted after Tuesday's practice in Orlando that he was just saying that to gain an edge on his peers. He stated, and I quote, "Anybody out there that thought I didn't have access to a gym, they don't even know me." So I just said that trying to get a little bit ahead of the competition. That sly dog, that Giannis, he is quite the character to be able to try to con his other teammates who undoubtedly were in gyms. So that's funny. It shows a little, it's all right. Good for you, Giannis. Good for you. I doubt it worked. Blue Jays expected to play MLB games for their home games at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. Canada's government denied the Blue Jays' request to play in Toronto because the regular season schedule would require frequent travel to and from the United States, where COVID-19 cases are surging. The other 29 Major League teams plan to play the pandemic-shortened 60-game season in their home ballparks without fans. Toronto begins the season at Tampa Bay on Friday. And that will do it for the buzz. Lots of good stuff. I love it. Let's get it on with the Benzy's Bite. So this week for Benzy's Bite, which is my food review to close out each show, we are going to be reviewing Revival. God, it just sounds amazing. Revival. Like, not only am I going to get revived, for all you gamers out there, all you Call of Duty nuts, but I'm just going to be able to go sit down. Now listen to this definition of what Revival is. Revival is fried chicken and other classic Southern comfort foods served in a relaxed location. Okay, that's Revival. Revival is in South Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's just off of Nicollet Avenue. I highly recommend this spot. Menu is going to be shortened due to COVID, but if you need to go somewhere on a Sunday for lunch and you just need to sit down and recover from the week and prepare for the week ahead, I strongly recommend Revival. Even guys and girls coming in from out of state, go there. I'm promising you. I give it 5 stars, and this is my first 5-star review that I gave. Highly recommend the mac and cheese. Highly recommend the Tennessee hot chicken, the biscuits, the mashed potatoes, the collard greens. Just go there, get your life together, prep up, have some sweet tea if they have it. Unfortunately, they didn't have it last time because of that damn COVID-19. Go there, get your life together. That will get your week started. You stop in here on Wednesdays for Benzy's Bit. Then you come back and see us on Saturday for Twist, the Weekend Sports Talk at 11 a.m. Central, live on our Facebook page, or you can watch it live on RTF's Facebook page. So make sure, first and foremost, before I go, at Twist Benz on Twitter, follow me. You'll get plenty of laughs. I'll keep you up to date. Also, make sure you go to twistsportstalk.com. Check out all of our past shows, current shows, things of that nature. And then last but not least, rtfsportsnetwork.com. If you just need a fill of some down-to-earth sports takes, if you need that fill of guys that aren't constantly on television, if you're sick of Stephen A., if you're sick of Adam Schefter, if you're sick of Skip and Shannon, rtfsportsnetwork.com. You're going to hear everything from beer reviews to whiskey reviews to football, baseball, soccer, fighting. You're going to hear it all. Most of it's going to be great. Some of it's going to be hogwash, but that's okay because it's real people, working citizens of America. RTF Sports Network. Raise the flag. Get over there. Check it out. I'll see you on Saturday with Twist and next week with Benzy's Bit. Love you all. Stay blessed.